How's it going, everybody? Today's video is going to be a bit of a throwback video. You see, right now I am neck deep in a lot of projects that are not quite ready for release yet. On top of that, there has been an overwhelming amount of support on some of my remodeling videos from the past, so I figured I would give y'all more of what y'all were subscribing for. Now, there are definitely some pros and cons whenever it comes to releasing older footage. There's a reason I hadn't released it yet, because it wasn't quite up to the quality I would like to have with my videos. I only had one camera, no special lightings, no special microphone, anything like that. So, it's a little bit rough, but you can still see the process and what I did and how I did it, why I did it, and I give a little bit of explanation along the way. So, hopefully y'all are able to get some sort of value out of it without cringing too hard, and yeah, without any further ado, here you go. Alright, so at this point I'm already pretty well into this project, but I just decided that it's probably a good time for me to go ahead and start recording. Alright, so far I've kind of cleared out most of the room. You can see the reason I'm doing this is because there's some water damage on the floors all the way around here. Got some more water damage over here, and I believe there is some right around here. So the plan now is I want to rip the rest of this floor out, assess the damage, fix the holes in the floor, and then once I'm done fixing the holes in the floor, that's probably going to be whenever I start working on painting and other stuff like that. But yeah, let's see how this process goes. Hopefully it's a lot of fun, and who knows, you know, if you want to make a gaming room, you can look at my mistakes and be like, so that's what not to do. Okay, so I managed to get all the floor ripped out. That went rather smoothly. There's not a lot of water damage. I'm not sure what's causing this line right here. There's just a little bit of a weak spot right here. I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna be putting stronger flooring over it rather than just that crappy linoleum. Okay, so I figured out what to do next. Going with the theme of clearing the floor to assess the damage so I can patch up the floor first, the next step is a kind of big one. So, the next step is going to be, I need to take down this wall. Now, it's not a load-bearing wall, it's super weak and everything, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but there are two power outlets in it, so I've got to figure out how to take those power outlets out. And over here, this corner houses the hot water heater. So there's gonna be like this little corner section wall. So I have a few things to figure out. I think I'm just gonna put y'all on the time lapse and take it from there. See how it goes. Okay, so that was fun. Didn't quite do it extreme home makeover style, busting stuff down, but I mean, I guess once you get a little older, you realize that that's a lot of mess to clean up. So, where do we go from here? Take this carpet out, reface this side right here, cap it off. Of course, I'm gonna be switching out all the molding and everything. This cord hanging right here, that's probably just going to be like a reading light. So there's still a long way to go, but definitely making some good progress. So I'm gonna put y'all back onto the time lapse, and I'm gonna start working on ripping that carpet out. Okay, so for whatever reason, I forgot to record a transition between here, but basically I just went from cutting the carpet out to removing the bad flooring and replacing it with new boards. Had to add some structural support and stuff like that. But in general, you can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit. Just forgot to record that transition for some reason. Alright, so that about does it for the floor. Got this all nice and patched up, it's all solid and stuff. So with the floor taken care of, I think what I'm going to do next, I'm going to pull down that clothes rack right there, and I'm gonna start pulling all of the trim in the room because I'm going to be replacing it. So let's get to it. Alright, so there you have it. The room is now all the way gutted. Got all the trim out. So the next step is going to be patching up a whole lot. There's a couple of holes in the wall that I've got to take care of. Gotta patch those up. Gotta patch every single one of these splices over here. And yeah, that's about it. It's just gonna be a whole lot of patching and prep for painting and stuff like that. Okay, so quick update. It's been about 2 days. I haven't been recording much because it's just slow, tedious work. So I have filled in and sanded all these places on the wall, all the ones that needed work and stuff like that. So getting that taken care of has taken me quite a bit of time. So yeah, I've been busy. Oh, and one more thing. This wiring that I've been working on, it used to be coming out of that hole. I'm gonna have some sockets right there, a switch right there, and then a little light above the bed. Anyway, I'm not sure how much more I will be recording. Like I said, this is slow, tedious progress. Probably whenever I do the painting, I will be showing that because it's such a rewarding, satisfying feeling to get painting just right. But yeah, until next time. Boop. Okay, the time has come to finally start the main painting process. So I have been doing all the sanding and fill work and stuff like that. I painted the ceiling just to clean it up a bit and put a new ceiling fan in. Now I'm ready to start working on the actual walls in the main room, and hopefully this will make things start to come together a little bit. And once we get the painting done, we can move on to the floor. So here we go. Okay, so here I am again in post-production, just hopping in to give a few notes. I put on 2 different layers of primer, but I didn't keep that in the video because it was a lot of footage, and you'll see that there's a lot more left in this video, and the video is getting pretty long at this time. So I decided to just leave in the main painting process. And in the end, it all kind of worked out because, as you'll see, I forgot to record a transition for the next clip, and I ended up just hopping right into framing the door frames and the windows and doing all the trim, which took a lot of time, even more footage. So in the end, it all kind of balanced out. Back to the video. Okay, now moving right on into the trimming and framework and stuff like that. This was a rather long, tedious process. I had to go around every window. As you can see, I'm making measurements and cutting the boards right to shape. And the problem I had mainly was that there was no kind of, home improvement store that sold the dimensions of trim that I needed. So I had to cut all these boards from scratch. And as you'll see, I end up treating them as well. But anyway, here's that process. It was a nightmare. Okay, so I finally finished up all the windows and all the trim. It turned out pretty nicely. Everything went a little bit smoother than I expected, actually. There's a couple little, gaps and stuff like that where I didn't have the measurements, but considering what I had to work with, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So the next step to get right on into is framing the doors. Now the doors are going to be a little bit of a challenge, but hopefully I get it right. In general, I'm a little bit intimidated by hanging doors. Never done anything like that before. I'm probably gonna have to YouTube it, so here we go. Alright, so yet another thing I did not capture on camera. After I removed all the old trim, I went out and got a piece of plywood and cut it to the right shape and size to make new door frame boards. And this is just me sanding and polyurethaning and treating these boards so they'd be ready to go into new door frames. Okay, so I've gotten all the windows and all the doors framed. I'm not going to install a door just yet. I still have to figure out some things with that. I might have to custom order a door because working in a mobile home, the measurements are different and stuff. I'll have to see what I'm gonna do about that. But in the time being, I'm going to go ahead and clear out the bathroom and start laying floor in there as the next step. And before you know it, we'll be laying floor here in the big room. And then it's just trim and decorate and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so I kind of ran out of space on the SD card and stopped recording for a bit. Progress so far, it's looking great. I am super happy with this. It's a lot of work, and so I'm glad that it looks this good to pay off. So pretty happy with it. I'm not sure how much I'll record of the main room flooring because it's a lot of me being off screen, like running outside to cut the board and then running back in to lay the board. I'll have to see about that. I might include a little bit, just not the entire thing. But yeah, I guess that's what's next. Yeah, that didn't happen. I'm sorry. I didn't record it. Okay, so it's been a few days. I've been having technical problems where I couldn't get my camera to work because of all kinds of problems. Anyway, quick update. The floor has been fully laid now. I kind of put some furniture back in here. Floor's done in here. And I put the trim up in the bathroom. So now all that's left is we just have to put the trim out in the main room. I'm gonna try to get some time lapses of that. Hopefully I don't have even more problems with the camera. But for now, here's the time lapse of me working on trim. It's very tedious. Okay, so I have now finished cutting all the trim to shape and everything went pretty smoothly. I've got everything cut, so now I have to take it all down and prep it, stain it, and make it look good, and then I'm gonna have to be putting it all back up. So yeah, here goes nothing. So once again, I did not actually record that process, so instead here's some footage of what it looked like with all the trim still raw and put up into place. Basically, I just took it down and stained it. And with that all being taken care of, it's time for the final reveal. So there you have it. Now, hopefully y'all are able to get some sort of value out of that. I know it's really rough footage, and I left out way too many parts just because of my inexperience in what I was doing, so I was spending more time learning how to do it than showing you how to do it. But I suppose that's just the difference between remodeling my first room and remodeling my last room, as y'all saw in the previous video. At the end of the day, while I am out of rooms to remodel in my trailer, I definitely plan on uploading videos in the future with general tips and tricks. But that's about it for this video. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more videos from me in the future, hit the subscribe button. And don't forget that I do have an Instagram page by the same title, hopedreamsandducttape, and over there I basically give y'all updates on projects as I'm working on them, so y'all can kind of anticipate what videos are coming up, and y'all can see a lot more behind the scenes and kind of the ins and outs of the project. But that's about it for this video. Enough rambling from me. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Stay happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise, and I'll see you later.